So yes, that is, but see, this is the reason, Steve, why it was so important to have an investigation. And let's not forget that it was not in the interest of President Trump by any stretch of the imagination to have happen what happened on January 6th, because it disrupted the one last chance we had to challenge votes across those 6 battleground states. But if you look over here, right? You know who this is? My for the radio audience, I've got kind of the green zone here in D.C., but then on either side of me, I got the 2 Soros Secretary of State puppets, one Kathy Boockvar in Pennsylvania, the other Jocelyn Benson in Michigan. Right now, the news story here, we got to get John Solomon on this one. What they've done is they wiped out the voting data from websites. So the stuff we use to get to our numbers, you can't get to anymore. And that's not an accident, Steve. What they're trying to do is erase history right now as they craft this narrative about a free and fair election. But the more I think that they try to suppress this, the more people are going to rebel against this. But that's kind of the state of play right now.
Hang on. I just want to make sure and get Raheem in here. You're saying that during the week that they start, and today they're pounding Trump and quite frankly daring him to come forward with the receipts. That's what I think is so outrageous about this. They're daring his lawyers that you didn't include it. So now they're throwing down hard. And they're basically saying, like Swalwell and others, we could have pulled a bunch of other clips. You're a liar. You said this. You tweeted this. You convinced the rubes that follow you of this. All of it's lies. Are you saying at the same time they're doing that the evidence and the data that was pulled off in places like Michigan and in Pennsylvania, now you have a tough time going to those Secretary of the State sites and see the backup of the numbers that you put in the Navarro report?
It's not a tough time. You can't do it. They wiped it clean, Steve. This is clear suppression of data so that they can consolidate their myth. And look, I mean, here's the receipts on the screen. Okay, you got your dead votes. You got your overvoters. And look, put me in, coach, here, okay? Give me an hour. Give me an hour at that Senate trial instead of an hour of the hapless, mediocre lawyers we have. Just give me an hour to present the Navarro report. I'll do it in 3 slides and the 150 footnotes that are in that report. And I will prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that election was stolen from Donald J. Trump by the Time magazine co-conspirators who pulled off what essentially is the theft of the century. The receipts, Steve, we have the receipts, but now they're trying to wipe away history. And by the way, the other thing that's really bothering me, these people on the other side have no sense of history, because every time they say the big lie, basically they're channeling their inner Nazi. Okay, that's what was like Goebbels' whole thing in the Third Reich. It's like, say it enough times, you'll believe it. I mean, these people have no sense of history as to what they're doing, and it's like
I think they have. I disagree with that. I think they have plenty of sense of history. They're saying they're using it, and it's effective. Look, right now, let's be honest. They're hammering the president. They're hammering, and they brought it out. We knew this attack was going to happen. They want to purge President Trump from the political process, and the establishment Republicans
and the data
are standing
with
back.
And the data with it.
And the data, and in doing that, they want to break the spirit of MAGA. They want to, and basically what David Ignatius said in the op-ed in the Washington Post. Right? You have to comply. You have to submit. If you do that, all the beatings will stop. It'll all go away. It'll be fine. You have to submit. But if you're going to keep doing this, you're going to continue to be under pressure. You're a bad guy. You're an insurrectionist. And today they've started the process in living color, and it's been brutal, right? And it doesn't comport to laws of evidence. It's not particularly logical. They're slicing and dicing this to build a narrative to bury Donald J. Trump. That's why, to me, it's just going to have to be inevitable that he's going to have to. He's the best counterpuncher in history in this regard.
How can Eric Swalwell be the friggin' messenger for these people? Don't they understand that this guy sold this country out by sleeping with a Chinese spy, sharing secrets? I mean, come on.
Okay.